That's me. I should point out, and I think I kind of already mentioned this, I don't like talking about myself, and that combined with public speaking just sort of gives me the it's that feeling of like, hey man, you want another piece of pizza? Centipedes. It's that kind of thing. It just makes me feel squeaky. So, yeah, I've been on a lot of art panels with other artists, and there'll be like 6 of us sitting up here and someone moderating. And you know what? Everyone else is sort of like, oh, I do the Tumblr where Celestia is a pirate cat and she has adventures in space. You should all think I'm very cool. And I just can't do that. I got into this because I started watching a cartoon about cartoon horses, little happy cartoon horses, and it started this fervor in me. It made me so happy in a way art hadn't in a long time. I went to school at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh for video game design, and it was a great program, and I learned a lot, and I got a cool job doing, concept art and some 3D modeling and stuff. And all that is great, but art had become homework, assignments, deadlines, and then it sort of became the thing I do to put food on the table. When I rediscovered My Little Pony, all of a sudden, art was fun again. Art was kind of expressing something neat and enjoying it and drawing, not because you have to, not because someone is necessarily giving you money or yelling at you, as the case may be, but because it was fun and enjoyable and I was really excited about the subject matter. The show, and I think a lot of you can probably identify with this, I love that Saturday morning when a new episode airs. I love getting in my pajamas, eating some cereal, maybe some toast with cinnamon on it, and just getting lost in this thing that makes me feel like a kid again, and feeling all the grown-up-ish responsibilities start to slip away. It's like the polar opposite of what exactly is the polar opposite of What would that be? That's it. All right. Okay. Let me wield some power from you. Okay. This side of the room, you're pizza peas. All right. Left side is pizza peas. My left side. So when I point, you're right. Right side of the room, you're pony show. So when I point at you, you do the yeah kind of thing, right? Middle, you're adults. You can make your own life choices. Pick whichever side you want. If you choose wrong, we'll silently judge you. So, all right, so let's do this. Yeah! I love power that's really late tonight. All right. So let's see. Where are we in my presentation here? Anyway, so I've actually kind of stopped doing art panels for the most part because a lot of people have heard my spiel already. Kind of what I just told you about why I'm in the show and how I got started and my background in art. And I think it's better to give other artists, younger artists, new people to the fandom a chance to sit up at the big kid table and sort of feel important and feel the stares of like 100 people on them at the same time. Everyone should do that at least once in their life. But GalaCon is special. These guys brought me over here, and it's really cool. I haven't been to North in years, and you're all awesome and friendly, and you guys make me feel. Yeah! All right, very good. So I want to do something different. I'm going to let you go and take some questions from everyone, which will be, good. It'll be like a Reddit Ask Me Anything. You ask me a question, and then I will tell you that you should run out and see the movie Rampart starring Woody Harrelson. And speaking of which, this is what I really wanted to do with the panel. Has anyone seen True Detective? Yeah. I love True Detective. So what I wanted to do was sit up here with like a 6er of Lone Star and just talk about the crushing terror of the universe, wiping out the ponies out of the empties. But, then of course, I get arrested for violating the German purity laws by bringing Lone Star into this country. American beer, I do not miss it one bit. I am very happy to be here where beer is actually beer. It is fantastic. So thank you, Germany. You guys are... No waxing existential, no mullet detectives, nothing like that. I'm going to take some questions from you guys, but there's a catch. There's a twist. Not the pony twist, because, you know, who gives it? Sorry, twist. That's not nice. We have to switch places. You ask me a question, then you come here and sit at the big kid table, and I get to ask you a question. But at the same time, I am fully aware of the previously mentioned crushing terror. So I'm going to sweeten the deal. You come up here, you ask me a question, I ask you a question, and then you get your choice of either the special Con Edition derpy collectible card game card with the Earth Pony misprint and everything. Best Earth Pony. And I designed this, so you get one of those. Or you can have one of the 6 harmony keys. It's your choice, whichever one you would prefer. So it's not so bad, you know, you get to come up and potentially be terribly embarrassed, but you get stuck. And isn't that life? I mean, isn't that really what it all comes down to? All right, one more time. Can I get a... Yeah! You guys are scary and I like it. This is great. I don't think... Okay, how about... Yeah. Okay, so, I guess we'll just jump right into this. Who might have a question for me? All right, you in the back and pink, you had your hand up first, so come up here. You have to come up here. Share my burden. Here, right by the mic.
You probably get this all the time, but
Yes, Bo.
you like bananas?
Bananas are a great source of potassium, and apparently the moon is full of them. All right, so I see you have a very awesome Hufflepuff costume. What drew you to that particular character and that Tumblr and everything? What about it do you like?
I found after, back where I'm from in Florida, it wasn't too common to find bronies. So when I first started watching the show around season 2, I discovered the blog, and I just thought it was a pretty quirky thing because it incorporated Dan Versus and Hufflepuff. And everyone who watches Dan Versus knows he's got a temper, so they're a perfect match together. And that's where I got hooked.
I miss Dan Versus so much. I miss getting my weekly dose of sweet, sweet revenge. It's just not the same. And I love it because it's a kid's show, right? But it was not a kid's show. If you watch Dan Versus, it was grown up. So what about that character, though? I mean, at this point, Hufflepuff has kind of went from being, part of the Dan blog to being the main character. Why did that character break out in a way that a lot of OCs don't? Most OCs, people, whatever, made up character. What's the appeal of Hufflepuff?
I believe some of the appeal is just the silliness or the crazy things she does that normal ponies would normally do, like a fun cave or a pillow orbital cannon or pony herself and making everybody sleep for a month.
It's like Pinkie Pie Plus. Yeah. Well, what's your name?
Oh, I'm Andre.
Nice to meet you, Andre. Thank you for participating in our little social experiment. Can I tell you what you think? What would you like?
Can I pick the key?
Yes, absolutely. Whichever one you like.
Magic one.
It's all yours. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andre. I've got a fever, and the only cure is more questions. I picked on the middle, so let's go in the middle. Middle person in red right there. Would you come on down to the price is always wrong? What's your name? Nice to meet you. So what is your question for me?
Well, not the rhetoric question, I guess. Who is best pony?
Oh.
Who do you like to talk most?
Trixie. Twist. Sorry, Twist. Okay, well, Trixie is obviously my favorite character, to put it in things. I like her. I like her because there's a lot of villains on the show. There's some great villains on the show. Chrysalis is an awesome villain. Tyra was a proper bad guy, horns and fire kind of villain. Nightmare Moon villain. Trixie she's an antagonist, you know. Trixie isn't smart enough to be a villain. She's not. She's got this adorable kind of loser quality to her that I think tempers her being a jerk. And, you know, Gilda, you kind of get the impression she's got it together. She's capable, and she's mean on top of it. Trixie, you just kind of feel bad for it. It's like, oh, you're trying. I mean, you're getting it totally wrong, but you're trying. Good for you. Now, to draw, that's probably different. I think the character I've drawn the most is probably Twilight. Something about those hipster bangs, I really like drawing her hair, possibly because I like the style, and possibly because it's probably the easiest to draw again and again. Rarity's hair is just unfair. So yeah, Pinkie Pie is like circles everywhere, and then there's circles. Twilight, she's her hair and a simple tail. And while Trixie is my favorite character, I think, and this probably goes for a lot of us nerdy types, maybe. I think a lot of us identify with Twilight because of, you know, being forced to make friends to a certain extent, the studiousness, the sometimes awkwardness, fear of sitting in front of lots of people and talking about stuff. So I think Twilight is my favorite character to draw. So do you draw? Are you an artist?
I don't draw, but I write.
Really? Okay. Have you written fan fictions and things like that?
Fan fictions. A lot of them, actually.
Okay, I'm going to turn the question back around on you. Which character do you find most compelling to kind of bring to life? With what voice do you like writing the best?
Well, I like writing a lot of characters. Sometimes when I'm chatting with someone, I find myself suddenly getting in a mood and doing everything like therapy or Pinkie Pie. I don't know the character I like to write. I have this strange headcanon that Chrysalis is actually a hoax.
Oh, I like this. All right.
That the changelings invaded Pixelkitties so that everyone thought they were gone for good and they could live among the ponies happily.
Very nice. So it was all part of the plan, even the defeat was. I like that the long con chrysalis. That's fantastic. Do you find it easy to get into the characters? Does it flow, or do you really have to focus to bring the direction?
It's always fun, especially if you're around a big event or a surprise.
Do you have, are you on fiction?
Yes, indeed.
What's your username there?
River Road.
River Road? Okay, we should probably check out your stuff because it sounds
So,
very cool. What stories have you written?
short stories, crossover, and if you wait 2 or 3 more weeks, with some luck, I'll have another story out. Michael and Octavia's story with parallel systems.
Oh, very nice. All right. So check out River Road's fan fiction page, and can I tempt you with a thing? We have things. I do. Go right ahead. That's yours. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Who's got questions? You got questions. All right. Let's see. Let's start in the middle. Young lady in the white dress with the Celestia hair. And an awesome costume. Please come down. Pardon me, excuse me. Hello, thank you for showing up. What's your name? let's see. Well, my OC pony is a unicorn who is obsessed with beer. So what would that translate to? You know, if I was into liquor, I could have like some kind of German Shepherd, or not German Shepherd. What's the big dog with the keg around its neck? Saint Bernard. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But that doesn't quite apply. Although pets have merits, I think I'd have to be there to find out. I think I'd have to go to one of Fluttershy's, you know, pick a pet kind of meetings and adopt something. And I would imagine you have to fill out a lot of paperwork because Fluttershy is not just going to give up a pet to anyone. There's probably background checks and some kind of certifications you have to get, and it would be a tough process. But I think I'd have to go there and see the selection early next coming out. Although I will say, on the episode with Rainbow Dash getting your pet, I really liked the bat. The bat was super cute, and I was sort of pulling for the bat, during the picking the pet sequence. So yeah, let's go with the bat. I like the bat. So, I guess now I might have a question for you. Same question. Pet. What? You go to Equestria. You go through the magic portal we all wish was a real thing. You go up in Equestria. You're a horse of some manner, and got a house. It's a cute little house in Ponyville. You want to feel part of the team. Everyone has pets. What's your pet?
I think I would have two bunnies because I feel like I have two bunnies.
Oh my God! That is the cutest thing ever. See, you're starting your own animal refuge. That's wonderful. That is truly the spirit of Fluttershy. And then I want an anaconda, and an exploding weasel, and a pizza peed, and all kinds of things. That is fantastic. Oh, so how long have you had your bunnies? How long bunnies generally live? I've always wanted one as a pet, but it seems like they don't last long, and that would make me so sad. So that's actually a pretty good lifespan, yeah. Well, fantastic. Thank you, Susie, for coming up. All right, let's get the question train rolling once again. Young lady in red, please come up here. Join me at the table, at the big kids table. And then we will silently judge the little girl. What's your name? It is nice to meet you, lady. The only real metric I have for tracking it is, I looked at I guess their Bigoro has a tag for me, and I looked there not too long ago, and I think it said there was like 570 something pictures up there that were associated with me, and I'm gonna go with that, but it's overwhelming sometimes. I started out drawing comics, and they were plenty terrible bad. I mean, they were really awful. And but you start somewhere. When I was in school, I mainly focused on monsters and scary stuff, and serial killers. I love horror movies, and so my work was, I don't want to say dark because that's like I'm so dark, but it was, you know, it leaned more towards scary stuff. That was where my interests were. So writing Technicolor horses, totally new thing, and I really enjoyed it, but you improve. You draw 5 ponies, 4 of them are going to be pretty bad. You draw 10 ponies, 9 of them are, the more you go, the better you get. And I think I have a decent feel for it now, but there's people who are so much better, and I'm so jealous of them all the time, thinking with daggers. No, I love them. There's so many people I admire, and people like Egophiliac and JJ were my inspiration when I started looking at doing this. I saw them doing things with the characters that kind of sprung from their own imaginations, and I wanted to do the same thing, and so I started doing comics. Comics led to designing shirts, which led to the autograph stuff, and now I almost never comics anymore, which is a little sad. But it's become a second job. I work at a multimedia company during the day. I don't draw really there anymore. I am the intern wrangler. I terrorize the interns and the young art students we have come in and help out, and I also manage our project line, and I make sure everyone's doing kind of what they're supposed to, or at least looking like they're doing what they're supposed to. And I don't really draw much there. I come home, and then from 5 till I pass out in bed, I'm drawing ponies for someone. So it keeps me busy, and at this rate, I'm doing 3 or 4 pictures a week, so it's a lot. So, are you an artist? Do you write? What do you like to do within the fandom? What was your first exposure to the show? What got you into it? Was it a friend? Did you just kind of catch it? How did it work?
Awesome show, and you had movies.
They were right.
I was like, what? But we have lots of sites, so I really like it, so I started with.
Were you familiar with any of the older versions of My Little Pony? Like when you were growing up, did you have any of the older toys?
No, I like it because it's not my favorite, my style was so.
It was so saccharine and yeah. So that's very cool. What do you think is the thing that keeps you coming back to the show? You know, what keeps you in the fandom and keeps you sticking with it even when there's crazy drama stuff, or maybe when you just get overwhelmed with it? What keeps you grounded in all this?
I really like the art style. Because I really watch, and I like how cons are connecting, how cons are working out, and they usually like swap.
I saw that. Yes, that's so great. What an awesome idea.
And we really have those people around and the other places. Really.
I don't recommend taking free candy from any truck that's not about this big. So it's sort of like you came for the ponies, you stayed for the community.
Yeah.
And still for the ponies, because ponies are so great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you sitting up here and keeping me company. Can I touch you with the bag? It is yours. Thank you so much. Oh, never mind. Let's see. Other side. Pink cat. Let's do pink cat. And then we'll move towards the back with the next few questions. That is a fine chapeau. Is that adorning your head? What is your name, sir? Okay. Nice to meet you, Kevin. And what is your question? This was, I guess, 2011. The years are kind of flying by. The show started in 2010, so it was 2011. And if you remember a little game called Dragon Age 2, which, yeah, we remember that. Well, at the time, well, bloody awful. Some people just, I was excited. I loved Dragon Age 1. I was so into that and Mass Effect, and so, BioWare's back 100, right? Their next game has to rock. So I was on the BioWare forums and spending a lot of time chatting and talking to people about Dragon Age 2, which was upcoming. And overnight, everyone's avatars seemed to change from monsters and ogres and sexy shipping fuel and all kinds of stuff to ponies, cartoon horses. And I didn't even know there was a new My Little Pony show. I knew nothing about it. And I wanted to be one of the cool kids. So I thought, well, you all have your ponies, I have the best pony. So I changed my avatar to my favorite character from when I was a little Firefly. And I put this rhinoceros looking pink pony up there. And the site, we're like, no, you don't understand. This is something new. And they linked me to some YouTube videos and said, you need to watch this. This is what's happening now. And I knew of Lauren Faust and the work she'd done previously. And the rest is kind of history. I started watching a couple episodes, and before I knew it, I devoured everything that was available up to that point. And we were still about halfway through season 1 right then, I think. So, and next thing I know, I'm searching for more people who like the show, and I end up on various forums, and I find a Question Your Daily, which was sort of still in its infancy. And of course, when you're this on fire for something, you want to give back. And so I started drawing it, and I started taking requests from people on the forums, and here I am now. So Dragon Age 2 indirectly led me to My Little Pony. Dragon Age 2 ended up being supremely disappointing, so much for that. But I stayed because ponies were awesome. So that was my story. All right, so I'm seeing you have an awesome change to the shirt. Does that represent your favorite episode? What is your favorite episode out of all these seasons?
My favorite one is from all the seasons. It was
So many options. You know what? You can be like the top few. It doesn't have to be my supreme #1, everything else sucks episode. Really? What do you like about that one? Because I know some people are kind of mixed on it.
I like it because
That's really the best explanation.
she's like herself ever again, and then except she really gets shocked because you know that he was an adult member and yeah, and then the whole thing it's nice to simplify.
It is like definitive, distilled, down to the core, Pinkie Pie. Ah, yes. Okay. So you were okay with the wings. You weren't on the anthem. You weren't team I hate wings. Well, I think a lot of people have either grown into it or accepted that it's not going back. A lot of songs in a half-hour episode, and I feel kind of bad because that entire season, it was probably the weakest season, at least as far as I thought. And the episodes just seemed like they wanted to tell so much story and do so much more. But it just seemed like since the season was half, they just didn't have time. And that episode really should have been a two-parter. There's so much going on. There's conflict, there's songs, there's having to go to every pony and sort of untangle their cutie markness.
But scene to Twilight has re-elected the original source from the Strasbourg book, and then except it flipped to X and so and continued at this, and every pony had think Twilight is dead. Because
Well, there's just a burn mark on the floor. That's unsettling. If one of my friends turned into a burn mark on the floor, I would not be throwing a party. Well, until they came back with wings. I think that was a fantastic episode, and I'm glad that it left us on a bit of a cliffhanger that there may be more adorable vampire flesh. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming up and hanging out and answering my questions. And having a question, can I offer you one of these fancy things on the table? You can have a pen if you want, but I think the other stuff's better.
I picked the apple.
Excellent choice. Yes, Applejack is a great pony. Thank you so much. orange shirt here, and then a young lady in the Celestia after him. Hello, sir. Thank you for coming out. What is your name? What is your quest?
How often nowadays do you watch something and think, wow, this looks terrible?
All the time. You know, the question came up earlier, how much art have I done? And that's really kind of only half the question. It's how much art have I actually uploaded because I thought it was worthwhile. There is so much stuff I do. Ideas I have that don't make, just don't work out. I draw stuff and I just don't like it. And artists often are their own worst critics, but you kind of inherently know when something is just not working. You'll oftentimes get a feeling in the midst of it. You'll be banging your head against the wall, trying to change this, trying to adjust this, trying to make it work. And sometimes you push through it, and you do that one tweak that makes everything work and everything fit. More often than not, it just doesn't work out, it fizzles. And I shelve it and hope that I can maybe use the assets from the picture for something better later on. So fairly frequently. And the nice thing is, because I'm doing this mostly for myself, there's no pressure. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not like at work where if it doesn't work out, you've got to go back to the drawing board and start over because that's due in a week. So there's quite a bit. Even you never stop getting better. You never stop looking at your work and seeing things that need drastic improvement. You just never stop. That's being an artist. And anybody who stands up and says, I've gotten to the top of my field, I'm as good as I'm going to get, they're not doing it right. So now what about you? What do you do within the fandom? Do you draw, write, songs, music, videos?
Well,
Bare knuckle fighting?
I tried to paint, but one of my friends forbid me to paint on my pictures because they look terrible.
Oh, now that's not cool. What? See, we need more traditional artists in the fandom. I mean, the digital art is great, but I think I can count on my hand the number of painters doing really nice traditional stuff.
Yeah, I always knew that painting is not my thing. And I tried to host one or two fanfics, but not very long. Maybe I'm not just that creative.
Or maybe you just haven't found your cutie mark yet.
And I hope that's the case.
For all you know, it's parachuting while singing show tunes. I mean, we'll sort it out. Let's leave that for the last one on the list, and let's go to the other ones first. So, have you always had an interest in painting, or was it My Little Pony specifically that made you want to paint?
I always tried to paint something that never looked really good. I'm not that interested in painting, but that's my little pony because I watch it and I'm active in forums and things like that. You see all these awesome artists and thinking, well, I could try this too, and then try.
And then your friends are jerks.
And then you fail, and then you don't.
When you fail, and people point it out again and again and again.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Well,
No, he's not mean.
no, I understand between friends, but if it's something you're passionate about, and it sounds like it's more of I'm just going to give it a shot kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if it is something you're passionate about, just don't stop, because there are artists who are born brilliant and we hate them, and then there are those who are kind of learning every step of the way, and you do get better. Trust me. Look at some of the stuff I did at first. Where I'm just sort of tracing images for the show, and I can't even get that right. It was that bad. So yeah, do what you want. If you like painting, do it. If not, find something else to do. Thank you so much. It was wonderful meeting you. Thank you for coming out.
It is wonderful to be
What's your name? This is Isabella, everyone. Say hello to Isabella. You have a question for me. What is it? That is a great question. What is my favorite cutie mark? I'm going to think about this for just a second here because I've never really considered this. I like Trixie as a character, but there's a lot of cutie marks out there. Luna's is neat, I think, because at least the way it used to be drawn, it's not just one symbol. You know, she sort of has the color fading in the background and then the moon in front of it, which is kind of unique. Twilight's, I think I like the best. I think I like Twilight Sparkle's cutie mark the best because artistically it's interesting. You have this star and then you have it surrounded by other stars, but it's asymmetrical. There's 3 on one side and 2 on the other, and it makes 6 stars total, and then she's sort of the center of them. And it's got a lot of meaning to it. And every character's cutie mark technically has meaning, but you know, there's Applejack, who's apples. And there's Big Mac, who has an apple. And then there's Apple Bloom, who's doomed to have an apple. So some have more, I guess, subtleties to them than others. So I think Twilight Sparkles is my favorite cutie mark. So, can I ask you a question? Is that okay? Okay, let's see here. If you could be best friends in the entire world with any character on the show, who would be your best friend? You can pick any pony, any animal, any griffin, anyone in the show. You're just going to hang out with them and do the coolest things ever. Who is it? And there's Fluttershy. And why Fluttershy? What makes her so special? Butterflies. She's right. Fluttershy is a wonderful pony. And I think of all of them, she would probably be obviously the kindest, you know, most giving and sweetest friend to be around. If you need somebody to pick you up and make you feel better, Fluttershy would definitely be one. So I think that is an excellent choice. And I am so happy to have met you. And would you like a card or would you like a magic key? Which one? You want Fluttershy's? All right, there you go. Thank you so much. About as much time for questions. We've got about 20 minutes left. So, let's go in the back. Who's holding up a blue thing? Is that what let's talk about it. Oh, now that is interesting. My goodness, look at this. That is impressive. It is wonderful to meet you. What's your name?
My name is Eva.
Ava, nice to meet you. Everyone, this is Ava. Now, what is your costume? I have to know.
My costume is an OC from Rainbow Factory.
Oh, okay. I've never read it, so. I've heard of it. I've heard it whispered of in hushed tones, yes. So what is your question for me?
I sort of have 2 questions.
Sure.
My first question is that you told us that you did normal art, and I was wondering what kind of art you prefer, fan art or normal one?
At this point, I think fan art, because like I mentioned earlier, normal art is what I do to earn a living. Normal art was what I did for homework. Normal art was what I got graded on and all that other stuff. Fan art was the sort of escape from normal art. Which is not to say, like, leading up to getting ready for GalaCon and GalaCon at the same time, and getting all this VA work done for everyone having their autograph tables, it has actually been a relief going into work and doing things that have nothing to do with My Little Pony. So the pendulum swings depending how busy I am with one or the other. It's really stressful at work, I come home and ponies are my getaway. If ponies are really stressful, I go to work and I don't have to think about cartoons for 8 hours. So that can be nice too. So.
But if you don't like the real art in the first place, why did you drew yourself in art?
Oh.
Is there a reason, or?
I've always loved art. Ever since I was like 5 or 6 years old, probably younger than that. I remember being super young and getting coloring books, and I couldn't necessarily draw, but I could give like Cinderella laser eye beams that she's shooting into Prince Charming and stuff like that. So I started altering stuff, and then when I got old enough, my mom got me all kinds of art books, like the simple stuff, like you can learn to draw this little tiger character in 3 easy steps. Here's a circle, and draw another circle, and then draw a tiger, and I loved it. I loved drawing. It was my getaway. To be surprising people, I was a huge geek when I was a kid in high school, and this was old school geek. This was before geeks were a cool thing. This was when geeks were to be shunned. Shunned, Charlie, shunned. And so art was my getaway from essentially life. I would go up and shut myself in my room and just draw. And so it was sort of preordained. That's what I was going to go for. And when you get to art school, you go in your first day and you've got your nice big black portfolio filled with all kinds of fresh, new, unused art supplies and sketchbooks, and you're all enthusiastic and you're so excited, and then you start getting them teachers who work for Disney and expect the highest level of standards and publicly shame you in front of the class. And that's the process. And then you have the nice teachers who balance them out and encourage you. But art school can be a crucible. And so you start out enthusiastic, and then you realize art is more than just drawing whatever you want. And you kind of get into the reality of art as a profession, as a job, as something you have to do, and that there are expectations, responsibilities, and patterns for it that you kind of need to abide by. So I wouldn't say like crushed by love of art, but it definitely changed my perspective on it. And my pony just sort of helped me see it from a more childlike view again, and see it the way I used to when I was a kid, and I-beams and all of that kind of stuff. So, like I was talking about when I was little, like laser I-beams on Cinderella and things like that. It took me back to sort of the just free form enjoyment of just drawing things. So your costume is really neat. Those wings are spectacular. Do you do a lot of cosplay stuff?
No, this is actually the first time I'm going to a convention, the first time I'm cosplay.
Congratulations!
First time I'm meeting bronies in real
Oh, you know what that calls for? That is really fantastic. So why did you choose, what made GalaCon your coming out party for my company?
Well, it's a very simple question. It's just that I live in France and I can't really move anywhere, so Germany not that far, try to do that.
No, that makes sense. My first pony convention I went to was BronyCon, whatever, like 2011 or something like that. And it was nearby, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I went. And now it's like crack. Here I am in Germany. I'll go anywhere they ask me to, obviously. So what keeps you in coming back to the show? Like I asked earlier, obviously we see the show, we love it. What keeps you here?
Well, a lot, to be honest. Most of it would be the art. I draw a little bit myself. It doesn't go on the internet, but I draw it. Also the animation. Since I started my pony, I get really into animation, and yeah, it's good. So,
But it's inspiring, that's
exactly. It's another one. It's also the reason why I started to take drawing seriously. Or not sort of.
stuff that is just outstanding. And, you know, you get the sense of competition to a certain extent with them, but it's the good kind. It's the kind that you look at and you say, I want to be able to do that. You know, I want to get to that level. And it encourages you to be better and work harder and do more. So the Fandom, I think, is really good for giving you bars to set for yourself.
Thank you, you guys. Thank you.
What would you like to take away with you?
I'll take a photo.
Oh, all right, go right ahead. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to meet you. Have fun at your first convention. All right, move right now. Walrus gentleman with the yellow ears. Can come on down. Not polished, just very light hair. Hello. What's your name, sir? It's wonderful to meet you. Nice to meet you, Marcus. Do you have a question? Okay, I'm ready.
I want to ask you whether you prefer drawing Twilight or without versions, and also whether you prefer drawing Pinkie Pie with or without their horn.
Yes. On some level, you want to say, well, wings have always been a little complicated. What do you do with these wings? So you're adding an extra part to Twilight. It makes it more complicated to draw again and again and again. But at the same time, the wings actually give her some different expressiveness. You know, all of a sudden she's able to use the wing, because Twilight has some of the best expressions on the show. Some of the faces she made are awesome. They're not Miss Marshwinny level, but they're pretty great. And the wings just sort of give you a different, some more body language to play with. So I actually really like using the wings. And like, you know, I did this picture of, I'm sure we've all seen the pony power Celestia with the thigh highs and all this. So I did a picture of her and Twilight is kind of embarrassed by this situation. She's covering her face with the wings. And it's just stuff like that. It gives you a different, fresh take on this pony that I've been drawing for 4 seasons now. So I like wings. I'm okay with wings. No, I actually don't. I guess I've sort of moved on and accepted it, and now it's all wings all the time. So, by the same token, what did you think about the wings? Were you okay with it, or did you think it was too much of a change? Or how did you feel at the season? What was that, 3? Yeah.
Well, the first I thought was uncomfortable change. But it was more fun change. So I was.
Well, we loved her the way she was, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But she did say the way she was, so I really liked it. It didn't look so bad on her.
She is adorable, and I think that was a lot of people's fear, was that, okay, this cute, adorable, kind of relatable character is now getting wings, and she's a princess. You know, she was down here with everyone and just learning about the magic of friendship, and now she's up here, and it was going to change her, the way she relates to her friends, the way we relate to her, the way she acts, and season 4, thankfully, has shown us that she's still just as cute and adorable, and the stuff with her learning to use the wings and flying, like, I thought that was great. I like that they sort of eased her and us into the idea. Where until the end of the season, where we have, you know, super battle Twilight going head to head with Tyra, and, you know, I like that they kind of moved us into that, rather than just season 4 starts and now she's a princess and everything's different. That was what I was afraid of to a certain extent. So, well, it was really awesome to meet you. Would you like one of the remaining items on the table? All right, please do. Marcus, thank you so much for coming out. That was a pleasure. 2 questions, 2 items. We are in the home stretch. Okay, I see a purple Twilight shirt right there. And you come What question do you have?
So first of all, I want to thank you for this influence on
Oh.
and I think your sort of really needed sometimes, so I really appreciate
It's a hard thing to do sometimes because we have a lot of little drama flare-ups, and I always try and be like, let's put it in perspective. But that can backfire. A lot of times I've heard from people saying, you should tell me that I don't have a right to be mad about this, or you shouldn't. You're just being political by trying to take the middle road. And my point has always just been, we're here because we like the show and it gives us enjoyment. And I don't want to lose sight of that arguing about minutia or fandom stuff. I mean, fandom is great, but fandom needs to take a back seat to the thing we love, the thing that brought us all together in the first place. So, but I don't think that was your question, so please keep going. Yes.
I know you watch like every video on the sun.
Yes.
So I just want to ask, how do you find the time for all of this?
Oh, well, the great thing about loving horror films is that that's what I'm watching on screen 2 while I'm drawing comics and stuff on screen 1. While I was doing all this stuff getting ready for these conventions, I decided to take it upon myself to go through the banned British video nasty list from the 80s. So I'm going through all these banned, terrible grade C horror movies while I'm working on My Little Pony, and that's kind of thing that keeps me sane, because I know some people like to watch Pony while they're drawing Pony and they're listening to Pony, and I cannot do that. That's too much sensory overload. So it's nice to have that little bit of dichotomy between the two. And my husband, the long-suffering Mr. Kitties, is kind enough to help with so much stuff. He makes the keys, he makes the horse heads that go on the front of the harmony boxes. He came up with the design for the little treasure chest thing we have now. So I could not do this without him. He's been infinitely patient with the fact I disappear into my study and don't come out at all. that I come to bed at like 3 in the morning or something like that. And honestly, that's amazing because, he tolerates the show, but he doesn't particularly care about My Little Pony. But he puts up with a lot, and he puts up with me, and he's very tolerant of this whole thing that I got myself neck deep in. So.
A little applause for Mr. Kitties?
Yes. He's at GalaCon right now, dealing with that craziness and running my table for me. So he is a saint. He is the patience of a saint. So what do you think about these little drama flare-ups and things that happen in the fandom? Does it affect your enjoyment of the show at all, or does it just sort of wash over you and you don't really give it two thoughts?
Well, I think the general problem with them is that that's one of the part is taking some prestige out of it. Just accepting it as a big part of their life and defending it as if it was like family worship or something. So I can understand that some changes are frightening, some changes make me mad, and I know I also was frightened about Twilight. It was such a change.
We all had our reservations, I think. No one was just like, oh, this is the perfect time, why not? It was weird, yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think it's entertainment, so maybe it's still fun, you can still watch it and enjoy it immensely. Maybe let them do their job, as long as we can enjoy it.
I like that. That's my point of view too. So I really appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to meet you. And there's some things that I think is a great moment. All right. Thank you. All right. I've never read it. I'm friends with the guy who wrote it. He's a really sweet guy who comes to a lot of conventions and is always right there, like if we need water or food or a break. He's really generous with his time. And so I've never actually read the story, but I know it's given a lot of people a lot of happy and sad feels, and you know, that's a positive thing. That's what fan fiction should do. It should affect you. So yeah, I'm all for it. I just need to sit down and read it someday. And for you, why did you Cody? So the team. Well, what's the? I mean, she's an awesome design, but she's really as far in the background as she would be. She's only come up like twice or three times. What really caught on about her? Why is she one of your favorites despite all that? That makes sense. You know, she is definitely a representation of music.